Good evening and welcome to episode 53. You'd think I'd look beforehand at this point, but I'm pretty sure this is episode 53 of Red True Diaries. And it's about 2 in the morning, and I've been awake since 7:15, somewhere around there this morning. Excuse me. And I have been cat sitting. I have done a couple of episodes at this place. Thank goodness tomorrow is my last day. One thing I didn't plan ahead about, and honestly I probably would have done it the same, but I don't know if I could say I'd be more prepared. But it's been an intense week, and today I've completed it basically. Well, tomorrow will really be the last day of cat sitting, but tomorrow I am off. I worked 6 days. Today is the 6th day in a row that I worked, and that is not the norm, and I'm doing that a little bit for the next month and a half or so because I start school in 6 weeks. And I'm so curious to see how these go. I think it'll be easier. I don't know. I'm hoping, because, it's a different time demand when I have homework. Okay, so I am so out of it right now, and I'm doing my best to stay focused, or trying to. But I'm a bit affected by two things. One is physically, because I'm absolutely exhausted. The other is mentally, and partially, I guess, perhaps even emotionally and spiritually. So, where to begin? All right, so today's the 6th day of this intense work week, and when I just getting comfortable. Sorry. I did do one thing brilliantly. Is I planned. I think my cat is going after a mosquito. Get it, Kyle. So, I plan to get a 2-hour massage at the end of this work week. And pardon. Oh, so tired. I only had 1 cup of coffee, which I'm really proud of myself for doing, and plenty of water and herbal tea after my massage. But okay, one thing happened before my massage that was a bit challenging and stressful. And it was just unexpected, because I'm one of those people who I go to bat for people, for my friends, my family, my coworkers, strangers. And when I say that, when I say go to bat, I mean I give 110%. I might not always, fulfill what my goal is, but I really do a damn good job trying. And I was a bit disheartened by a couple of coworkers' lack of urgency. And when I say urgency, I mean with something pertaining to other people. To sum up, it was being late. Just looking for another word, but just being late and taking their time in a situation that called for being more urgent, and not necessarily stressing yourself out about it, but putting a little more pep in their step. And I was doing my part to help everything run smoother, including do things that were their responsibilities to do. But I do believe that teamwork makes the dream work, and when I don't know, it just seemed that they were appreciative, but it it was a wake-up call that at least one is more on the decline from what I can tell. I can tell that she's not fully invested, and I wouldn't be surprised if she stopped being my coworker, quite frankly, within this past year. We'll see. But it was shocking. It was a little bit shocking and bothersome, because she's someone who I've had a lot of respect for. I've only known her for about a couple of months, but what I thought she embodied, based on, honestly, I only had a few interactions with her, but between her role at my workplace as well as just the things that she talks about, I thought that she would be a bit more considerate. So I don't know if something has happened to change that in the meantime, and I have a feeling it has. But I was like, wow, you still, for the sake of, integrity, work ethic. So, and then a coworker I was giving a ride to was just taking his sweet old time when I had my therapist coming. I had even told her I would be 15 minutes late so that I could give him a ride, and he's still just taking his sweet old time. So I told him, while giving him a ride, that, listen, I'd appreciate if you could communicate with me more effectively. If you know that this, you're not just inconveniencing me, you're inconveniencing another person who I've made a time commitment to. And I just frankly said, I'm not going to take that risk in the future again if it's that important, because it just stressed me out. So, that being said, I thought, a 2-hour massage is amazing. I always like to get at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. And this particular therapist, she gives me an awesome discount because I do other things for her as well. And I got on her table at 7 p.m. or around then. And she did tell me she was still working on my back around 8 o'clock. And I know, especially after 6 days in a row and going full tilt the way I've been, I know my back was jacked up. And I did even take time to stretch, and, I've done, episodes featuring stretching. But oh my gosh. Like, when she said it was 9:45, it's like, what? Because I hadn't even turned over. Honestly, I never did. She just worked on my entire backside, and she worked on me a total of 3.5 hours. She didn't stop until 10:30, and my face was all puffy, and I could hardly move. Like, I could move, but I could hardly walk or stand. Like, I felt so out of it, but amazing. I can still hardly believe the way my back feels right now. Just so loose and relaxed. And even though, as she even said, I still have these knots to work out in, muscles that are adhered to each other. And I forget, she said something else too for me. Oh, right, to watch. Oh, she actually recommended doing this type of exercise, because this particular muscle over here called a rhomboid has it's stretched out longer, and so this shoulder pulls forward a bit as a result, and that this is something I can do on my own or with an elastic band to help strengthen it. Even when breathing, I feel looser and better inside. Some moments were really intense. She had her elbow in there, and and she would just hold it for 5 minutes or so, and I felt like just time was standing still. That's why when 3 hours went by, 3.5 hours went by, I couldn't believe it. And I tried to give her more money, and she just would not. She refused. She said she would hurt me. She could. So she said she would hurt me if I did give her if I put money in her purse or if I tried to. I didn't want to offend her. And she just obviously loves it, believes in it, and wanted to give me that gift. And one of the things I've been working on the past few years is when I sense, especially in this case, I knew that she was doing this because this is what she, wanted to pass along to me, this gift of care. And that's one of the things I felt while she was working on me, period. Her touch, nothing sexual at all. And this she has a boyfriend slash fiance. She's just a really kind person and really loves what she does, and it was just so helpful. And the timing, I mean, I give a lot as well, and I don't expect things in return. I do appreciate certain qualities in people, as I said earlier, about integrity and having a strong work ethic. And she just took me to a whole nother level. And I'm still so touched. I just, it's priceless. And I'm really grateful. So, one other thing I wanted to mention is the trust that I felt in putting my body in her hands. And there aren't many people that I do respond so well with, in terms of letting them, move me around and trusting that they really know what they're doing and not going to hurt me irrevocably. I mean, she did work with her elbow so close to my spine.